Hi guys, very welcome from Dynamic QA team. So the topic that today we are going to look into is what is smoke testing. So this smoke testing you have heard very frequently, and it's an ideal candidate question for your QA interview. And when you actually perform the QA activity, you frequently do the smoke testing. So let's try to understand what is smoke testing. So we know that the softwares is like released in build by build. Like it's in part of build. Like the entire software is divided in component, and these components are released one by one to the testing team. And this is component is a build, right? So build have certain functionality associated. In smoke testing, whenever the build is released, we perform testing for the major functionalities. Here I am emphasizing on major and critical functionality, since we are not testing the entire build in one go, right? Because that will be like carried out in later part when we do exhaustive, or when we do the detailed testing. That time that testing will come. But in smoke testing, only we verify for the major and critical cases. So this testing can be performed by a testing team or development team, right? So why this smoke testing, like it's called as smoke testing? Because like whenever a build is placed, we just see if any smoke is coming out after running the after running the build, right? So we are not going in depth for the each functionality, just we ideally see that all major and critical cases are working. So which cases ideally we select? That we select integration cases, we select the system testing cases, and we select the acceptance testing cases, right? And again, one more thing, that we are not going in detailed testing, just we verify the major functionalities from the top level. So next is that what is the feature of a smoke testing? So first feature, that smoke testing verifies the build's stability. That if all major and critical functionalities and cases are working, it means my build is stable and I can proceed with further and detailed testing. So ideally, smoke testing is documented, yes, and there are test cases, right? We select the major cases from our test case repository or test case the suite, and we just try to run. So there are test cases. Remember, smoke testing have test cases, may or may not, but ideally it have. And smoke testing is also like associated to regression testing. So in regression testing, what we verify? That we verify that after fixing the build, after fixing the bug, if there is any other issues are introduced in the build. So here, what we are doing in smoke, we are testing the build very first time just from the top level. Yes, all major cases are working, all critical cases are working, it means my build is something good, right? So here, remember one more term, that smoke testing is also called as subset of regression testing. And since we are testing all major and critical cases, so we say that the entire build is just tested from top level. So let's see here diagram, from diagram, that what we do. Here the build is released from development team. Say the build have functionality F1, F2, F3, F4, F5 and F6. So all red color functionalities are major and critical, right? So what we do, we select F1, F3, F4 and F6, and we execute these cases. If they are pass, it means my build is stable, I can proceed with further detailed testing. If there is a failure, it means my major functionalities is breaking down, so we will be not going in detailed, right? So what we do, we will be rejecting the build straightforward, and development team will work out and they will release the further build after fixing this issue. So in smoke test, that we test the build just to check if major and critical functionalities are broken. It means they are working fine or they are broken. We are not testing the build in detail or depth, right? If there is smoke or failure from the build, we reject the build. Development team is reported with the issue and the detailed bugs that was we found during smoke testing. And why this is important, that since we are testing in the top level, it means we are not going in detail, and the bug is identified in early stage, it means the time and cost both is saved. Now you have question in your mind that how time and cost is associated. Think, if this testing is not performed and build is released to the QA team, so the suppose functionality F6 is broken from my last picture, and this functionality F6 is tested on the fourth or fifth day of testing. So what we'll do, if major functionality is broken, it means that again the build will roll back and development team will give the new build. So my 3 and 4 days where I have did my testing on the build have been wasted, right? Because again, if development team will give the new build, we will do the testing from beginning again. So that will like the time is elapsed if we are not performing this testing. And again, since the testing team are working, so testing team are the resources which are paid, right? So 4 5 days if they do the testing, and that is like it's good, that all goes in waste. It means my cost is also an associated. So to overcome of this, we perform smoke testing straightforward whenever the build is released. And thank you. If you have any question, please comment here, or please subscribe my channel Dynamic QA, and I will welcome your all email if you send me with your queries and with your suggestions. The email address is dynamic.qa01@gmail.com. We are coming with more and more videos to help you all QA resources. Thanks again.